Hi friends, Steve here on another trip down memory lane, and this one is for all of you Western movie and TV fans. I'm here this morning in Old Town Newhall to take a walk down Main Street and show you their Western Walk of Stars. And there are two stars that I'm especially interested in finding. So let's go see if we can find them. In the past year, quite a few of you have left comments about actor Johnny Crawford and his Alzheimer's diagnosis. Crawford's friend and fellow actor Paul Peterson, who played Jeff on the Donna Reed Show back in the 1950s and 60s, made the announcement last year. He and a number of others started a GoFundMe page to help raise money for Crawford's medical expenses. So when I recently heard that both Johnny Crawford and Chuck Connors have bronze plaques here on the Western Walk of Stars in Old Town Newhall, I thought this would make a very memorable trip down memory lane to share with all of you today, and to share this news about Crawford with those of you who hadn't yet heard. I parked right here on the corner of Market Street and Main Street, and the first star I see is David Carradine. I'm sure many of you remember him from the 1972 TV show Kung Fu. And Jack Lilly was a character actor who appeared in hundreds of Western movies and TV shows over the years. I never really associated actor John Saxon with Westerns, but he did appear in quite a few Western movies and TV shows like The Virginian, Gunsmoke, Bonanza, and others. Now, right across the street, on the same side of the street, is actor John Schneider's plaque. He, of course, played Bo Duke in the Dukes of Hazzard TV show, and right next to him is Linda Gray, who played Sue Ellen Ewing on the Dallas TV series. The Western Walk of Stars started here back in 1981 to honor legends of Western film, television, and radio, and there are nearly 100 stars here now, so I'm not going to visit them all today. But I thought you might still like to see a few other stars in addition to Chuck Connors and Johnny Crawford's. On the same side of the street, right around the corner, back on Main Street, right in front of the dental office, is Western star Chuck Connors, and a very loud crow. Chuck Connors, of course, played Lucas McCain on one of the most popular TV westerns of all time, The Rifleman, and his son Mark McCain was played by Johnny Crawford. It's also one of the best father-son TV dramas of all time. It's Sunday morning around 7:30 a.m., so it's pretty empty here on Main Street. And we're also still in the middle of our national health crisis, so it's pretty empty and quiet just about everywhere these days. But I'm guessing that it's usually pretty lively and fun here, especially every April when they have their Cowboy Festival. And that's also when they dedicate these star plaques every year. I'm pretty sure it was canceled this year though, like everything else. In case you're wondering why the Western Walk of Stars is located here in Newhall, it's because Newhall is a community or town within the city of Santa Clarita, and more Western movies and TV shows have probably been filmed here than anywhere else in the world. And it's only around 30 minutes north of downtown Los Angeles, and 15 or so minutes north of the movie and TV studios. In addition to cowboys, they've also honored a couple of actors famous for playing Native American Indians on screen. I think I remember Graham Greene best for his Academy Award-nominated role in Dances with Wolves, and Iron Eyes Cody for his 1970s Keep America Beautiful public service announcement ads. I have to say I'm surprised that Chuck Connors and Johnny Crawford's stars aren't next to each other. In fact, they're not even close. Crawford's is across the street and quite a bit north of Market Street. And unfortunately, his star is right in front of a building where they're doing some kind of renovation or construction. Part of the star is covered, and it doesn't really look very nice, but I guess I'm just lucky that it's not completely covered, which it could be. So, Murphy's Law, I don't know why. It does seem to happen a lot, as you know, if you've been watching my channel for a while. Crawford is now 74 years old. He was born in Los Angeles on March 26, 1946. And I don't know why, but I guess I was thinking he was much younger. It seems like it was just yesterday that I was watching The Rifleman during its original airing, and I sure hope that he and his family are getting the assistance they need right now. Sadly, I know from personal experience just how difficult this disease can be. My mom's third and last husband, Frank, died from Alzheimer's at the age of 71 in 2010. He was diagnosed with the disease 5 years before his death, and taking care of him for those 5 years, I'm sure was the hardest thing my mom ever did. He was truly an awesome person and definitely did not deserve his cruel fate. I'm sure some of you will remember that actor Wilford Brimley died earlier this month. He died in St. George, Utah at the age of 85 on August 1st, 2020. To be honest, I was a little surprised to see his name here. I had never really thought of him as a Western star. There are a few other stars I was surprised to see here as well. I only remembered Lloyd Bridges from the TV show Sea Hunt. I had no idea that he'd been in quite a few Western movies long before his TV show. And I had also completely forgotten that before he became a movie star, actor Steve McQueen starred in the 1950s, 1960s Western TV show Wanted, Dead or Alive. Who else remembers that series? In addition to all of the stars, Old Town Newhall Main Street is full of really fun Western street art. And this week I want to give an extra big shout out and thank you to my latest Patreon supporter, Candace Powell, and my latest PayPal supporter, Timothy Cahill. Both of your donations are extremely generous, and I'm beyond grateful. I also want to thank all of my subscribers who over the past few years have mentioned Johnny Crawford. Kenneth Marleveld, Deborah Morgan, Kevin Duran, Lana Banana, Will Robles, Thomas Odetto, Robert Carley, Dr. Frenier, JJH, Brian Moore, Mary Posey, Marty Newell, Jenny B., Raymond Maycool, David McKinney, Catherine Lelia Duckworth, Andy91, Darcy Thurlow, Movie Mag, USMC 7377, John Longnecker, Bob Sebring, Les D., Charisma Love, Leafy Nightmare, Everett Butler, Pamela Bone, Terry Henry, Jamie Perez, Susan R., Super B 1969, Debbie Morgan, Ocelot 1962, Linda Green, Maddie Hayes, Jan T., Glenn Shadow, John Deering, Kevin Beneke, Green Eyes 007, Nancy Elward, Melina Long, Jag, Sandra Sanders, Wes McGee, and Rory Latimer. Thanks for all of your kind and concerned comments. You know, some of you recently have said that I look very tired in some of my videos, and I apologize for that, but I try, because of the traffic here in Southern California, I usually get up at 4 a.m. I live in Palm Springs, which is 2 to 3 hours away from most of the things that I film. So I get up at 4 a.m. It takes me about an hour or so to get ready, and then I hit the freeway, and it takes me 2 to 3 hours to get to most of the places in the Los Angeles area or Southern California area that I'm visiting. So by the time I get here, I've been awake for a few hours, but most of the time when I'm first filming, it's still pretty early. Like this morning, it's 7 a.m. right now. And in case you're wondering why my eyes are also red, it's just I have horrible allergies. So my eyes typically are very red 24/7. 365 days of the year. I mean, sometimes it's worse than others, but yeah, I have really bad allergies. I have my entire life, and they just make my eyes really red. You know, maybe a little TMI, but for those of you who have asked, that's why. So I hope you enjoyed today's shorter trip to the past, and until our next trip down memory lane together, happy travels, everyone.